Welcome to Women in the Weeds. I'm Diane Keach. We're walking through the Word of God together, and today we're going to talk about Psalm 18. I'm so glad to be with you after a few days of break. My stepson was here, and we had a wonderful time. It was hard to break away, but make no mistake, I am reading through the Bible every day, meditating on these words which bring life, and praying for you. And today this is just such a wonderful psalm. It's just feeding my soul. And if we really want to be well, we have to have a well-fed soul. We have to get in the Word of God and let that food fill us up. Let that water satiate our thirst. Let His movement in our heart be the exercise that we need. Let us get on our knees and cry out to God for real food, because when our souls are well, then we will behave in a way that's well. And so I hope you're reading through the Word of God every day. I'm hoping it is feeding your soul and lifting your spirits. Let's talk about Psalm 18. All right, so this is a psalm written by David. Now, King David, we're going to be reading about him in the months to come. But I want to give you a little background on what's going on in this psalm. King David, well, he wasn't king yet. He became king, but at this time, he is the son-in-law to King Saul. And God has called David to be king instead of Saul. And so Saul is very jealous and very angry and murderous. And he has been stalking and chasing and trying to kill David for many years. And this is the psalm that David sings when Saul is finally defeated. Not by David's hand, but he is defeated. And it's a marvelous picture. So in the very beginning, David is crying out to God and saying, "Oh Lord, death is encompassing me. It is choking me. Death is overwhelming me. The sorrow of death, the sorrow of the grave, the sorrow of ungodly men is overwhelming me. And I cannot bear it. And I cry out to the Lord, and the Lord heard his cry. And the Lord in heaven parts the heavens, and he comes down, and he comes in great fire with lightning and smoke and fire, and he causes a great earthquake, and the waters part, and the foundations are exposed, and God comes and delivers. And David says, "And you came for me, you parted the essence of the universe. You parted the sky, you parted the waters, you parted life itself, and you came through the elements, and you came to rescue me because you delighted in me." The Lord is coming for you because he delights in you. Even while you're still a sinner, God delights in you. How could that be? How could God delight in me when I am a sinner and I don't love him with my whole heart? I do not love others the way I should. I don't think about him all day and worship him and give him glory and enjoy him continually. I think mostly about myself and what I need, and I want people to treat me a certain way. I have anxiety and bitterness and depression. I'm certainly not a perfect person. How can God delight in me? Well, the next verses in this psalm talk about how God delivered me because I am righteous, because I love God's law, because it's the center of my life and I never put it away from me. And because of my righteousness, God delivered me. Well, we know that's not true. It wasn't true about David either. As you'll discover reading throughout the next months, that David was also very much a sinner and does things that do not please the Lord. So how could David be saying this? He's saying this because he is prophesying about a greater David, a greater king, King Jesus. Jesus parted the elements. He roared through the heavens and came down as a little baby. And he lived a perfect life. He loved the law of God. It was always before him. He never stopped praising and worshiping and glorifying and enjoying the Father. And the Father delighted in him. And the Lord did deliver Jesus because of his righteousness. When Jesus died on the cross, he took all of our sin and he gave us his righteousness. It was a grand and wonderful exchange. And so if you believe in Jesus, then Jesus gives you the gift of righteousness. And you are a delight to him in every way. And you cannot lose that delight. You cannot do anything to get away from his delight. He sings over you with joy. He delights over you with singing. He parts the heavens. He roars through the elements. He goes through the water. He goes through the sky to get to you because he delights in you. And he will never, ever stop delighting in you. Cry out to the Lord tonight. Cry out to him with all your heart. He will hear your voice and he will thunder down and he will deliver you because he delights in you. Have a good night.